Welcome to The Explainer. So, have you ever wanted the power of something like ChatGPT, but maybe without the privacy worries or even needing an internet connection? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to tackle. We're diving into the world of local AI. I'm going to show you how to go from just having a simple, private chat all the way to building some really powerful apps, and you can do it all right from your own computer. Let's make sense of this whole scene.
If you've heard names being thrown around like Olama, LM Studio, or llama.cpp, and it all just sounds like a confusing jumble, don't worry, you are definitely in the right place. The local AI ecosystem has just exploded lately, and honestly, it can be pretty tough to know where to even begin.
So think of this as your guided tour. We're going to break down the main categories of all these local AI tools, clear up what each one is actually for, and I promise, by the end of this, you'll know exactly which one is the perfect launchpad for your own AI adventures.
Okay, let's get into it. Here's our game plan. We'll start with the why. Why is this all happening right now? Then we'll look at the easy chat apps, jump into the heavy-duty developer tools, explore how to use your own data, and finally we'll figure out the perfect starting point just for you.
First things first, right? Why is everybody so hyped about running these incredibly powerful models locally? Well, it really boils down to a few game-changing advantages that, frankly, you just can't get with those big cloud services.
The number one reason is you get complete and total control. First, your data is completely private. It never, ever leaves your machine. Second, you stop paying for every single API call, which makes playing around and experimenting basically free. Third, you can tweak and customize these models to your heart's content. And maybe best of all, the whole thing works even if you're completely offline. It's this combination that's really opening up a new frontier for how we use AI.
All right, let's start with the easiest way in. This whole category is for anyone who just wants to have that powerful ChatGPT-like conversation with an AI, but, totally offline and on your own terms.
So just think of these as all-in-one desktop apps. You download them, you install them, and they just work. No command line, no complicated setups. This is hands down the most direct way to grab a model and just start a conversation.
Okay, so let's break down the top 3 choices here. If you're looking for that polished, App Store-like experience, LM Studio is your go-to. It has this fantastic interface for finding and downloading models. Super easy. Then you've got GPT-4All. This one's great for simplicity, and it has a killer feature called Local Docs that lets it search your own files. And for all you tinkerers out there who love open source, Jan is perfect. It gives you all this flexibility to customize it with extensions. All right, now let's pop the hood a bit and look at the tools for developers and power users. See, if the chat apps we just talked about are the finished cars, these next tools, well, they're the engines. They're the command line workhorses that really form the foundation of this whole local AI ecosystem.
Now, these are the 2 big ones. First, you have Llama. The best way to think about it is like Docker for AI. It just hides all the complexity and lets you download and run a model with one simple command, like Llama run llama 3. It's all about speed and automation. But then, on the other side, you've got llama.cpp. This is the raw C++ engine that puts performance above everything else. So if you need maximum control and want to squeeze every last drop of power out of your hardware, this is your tool. But just be ready to get your hands dirty.
And then there's the specialist, VLLM. This is what you reach for when you're moving from a personal project to, say, a production service. Look at this. It's built to handle a flood of requests all at once with incredible efficiency. It's the engine you'd use to build your very own private API that can serve dozens, maybe even hundreds of users at the same time. Okay, now we get to the next level. What if you want an AI that doesn't just know about the world, but knows about your world? An expert on your company's internal documents, or your research papers, or just your project notes.
The magic that makes this happen is a technique called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG for short. Now, it sounds super complex, but the idea is actually brilliantly simple. You're basically letting the AI do open book research on your documents before it answers any of your questions.
This slide just lays out the 4 steps perfectly. So step 1, you feed it your documents, PDFs, text files, you name it. Step 2, the tool indexes all that content, creating its own little private knowledge base. That's the retrieval part. Step 3, you ask it a question. The system first searches your knowledge base for the most relevant info. And then, step 4, it hands that context to the AI, which then augments its answer with your specific information. It even gives you citations so you know exactly where the answer came from. How cool is that? So how do you actually do all this? Well, while a bunch of tools are starting to add RAG features, there is one standout application that was built specifically for this job: Anything LLM. It's really designed from the ground up to be your private, secure fortress of knowledge.
It's just a really powerful solution. You can create these separate, secure workspaces for every project you have. You can connect it to the local models you're already running with something like Llama or LM Studio, and you can feed it almost any data source you can think of. This makes it perfect for building a dedicated expert just for you or for your entire team, all with total data privacy.
Whew, okay. We have covered a lot of ground, right? From simple chat apps to developer engines to these powerful RAG platforms. So what's the big takeaway? Where should you actually start this journey?
Look, if you're totally new to all of this and you just want to play around without touching a single line of code, your first download should be LM Studio. Its polished interface just makes it incredibly easy. You'll be up and running, chatting with a powerful AI almost instantly.
Now, if you're a developer, your first stop should absolutely be Llama. It just strikes that perfect balance between being easy to use and being super powerful. Its command line interface and API make it an absolute dream to integrate into scripts, apps, and pretty much any other project you're working on.
And finally, if your goal is to build something for your business or for your team that uses your own internal data, the best place to start is Anything LLM. Just download it, connect it to an Llama server running in the background, and boom, you have the fastest path to a secure, private AI assistant that actually understands your organization.
And there you have it. We've just unlocked this whole new world of possibilities, where you can run unbelievably powerful AI privately, for free, right on your own machine. The tools are here, they're accessible, and they are ready to go. So the only question left is, what are you going to build with it?